Hi, I'm Chad from Chad's Unscripted, a podcast show where I give you a new perspective on a topic without a script. Today's episode, we're going to talk about your life, how to improve it, how you can optimize steps and spaces within your life in order to improve them. I'm super excited. Kick your feet back, grab a favorite snack, and enjoy the show. Are you trying to improve your life? Are you trying to improve your relationships around you? Are you trying to improve your physique, your mental prowess, your friendships, your work relationships, your work responsibilities? What are you trying to improve in your life? Listen today as we talk about what it takes to improve. What needs to happen in order to improve? Something has to change. Something has to cease. You've worked really hard to establish the talent that you have on certain skill sets, certain things that you're capable of. For some, that's like skateboarding, reading, drawing, public speaking, leading, coding, languages, maybe it's specific games. How did you get good in the first place? How did you become as proficient as you are? It was done by maybe obsession. You were just super passionate about this thing, so you wanted to pursue it. But once you had kind of established enough skill and talent, do you assume you know enough now? Or do you always have an open mind for learning and molding this knowledge that you've taken on? What the molding of your knowledge does is it changes that perception, that understanding that you had of this specific skill, this talent. It had to change, it had to be molded, it had to cease its existence. Maybe not cease its existence, but as much as it had to rebirth as a new thing. Maybe like a phoenix. A phoenix dies and rebirths as a new flourishing idea, thought, skill, talent. That is what improving is. Improving is taking what we are already proficient at or already have skill in and molding it. Letting it reignite, reburn, restart. You have to essentially stop or kill what original idea you had to create a new and stronger one. Getting better is a cycle of getting proficient at a specific skill and then realizing that you can take it another step further or broaden that skill set, and that will help get you on this path for improvement. It's also about just wanting to do the absolute best that you can possibly do. Give yourself passion towards this. The more effort you put into something, if you're trying to improve it, it's about recognizing it's okay to be the worst at something. You don't always have to be the best, because when you do give yourself that opportunity to be the worst, you can get better. You can get better at this thing. Learning a language. Spanish. I'm actually learning Spanish right now, and I am fortunate enough to have a fluent speaking partner to help me along the way. But it's really easy for me to just say, oh, how do you say this in Spanish? And they give me the answer. That's not helping me improve as much as creating a reliance, a dependence on that individual. So how do I mitigate this? I mitigate it by speaking to her in Spanish. I say, this is the word I'm looking for, and I try to describe what that word is. So just the other day, I know that we had watched the movie A Bug's Life, and in the movie a leaf falls down, and I was trying to talk to her about this leaf and how to say leaf in Spanish. And I couldn't remember the word. I was in a habit and reliance of asking her, could you help me remember what that word is? And instead of just having her tell me, oh, what's leaf in Spanish? I am creating the opportunity for myself to be bad at something, to be bad at knowing what the word leaf is in Spanish. So instead, I describe it's the thing on a tree that falls when it gets cold outside. And she tells me hoja. And I'm like, okay, so let me make sure that I understand. I'm still speaking to her in Spanish as best as I can. Let me make sure I understand you. Is hoja leaf in Spanish? And she said yes. And so that helped me actually work through it in Spanish to help me kind of learn it more concretely, this concept, this word. And I feel like under normal circumstances I'd be in a place where, I probably wouldn't remember it if I did it a different way, if I just kept asking her, oh, what's the word for leaf in Spanish? I built this sort of natural habit or reliance, like I said, on my speaking partner, because I don't have to memorize it. I can just ask her. And what I'm realizing in life is that the same sort of resilient or reliance that we have on information at our fingertips is creating a dependency. So just be careful with what content you're consuming in life, because it can be very distracting and it can actually set you back if you don't take care and consideration for restricting your exposure to these things. And it could be anything. But really, what it really comes down to is this thing that I'm being distracted with going to stop me from reaching my goal, reaching my opportunity that I want to create for myself. If it is, you need to be careful to restrict and limit what your exposure, your involvement is with these things. But maybe that's another topic for another day. Leave a comment if you'd like me to talk more about that. This episode, I really wanted to focus on improving. How do we improve? We have to strip back what we've already learned and give it an opportunity to grow within itself. What are some things that you would like to learn or get better at to actually see the improvement you want to see in life? Is it your willingness to improve and get better as an individual? Share with me. I'd love to hear about it. Thanks for taking the time to hear my podcast and hear about improving yourself. I hope you have a great rest of your day.